This is Chicago. At the dawn of the 21st century, Chicago's media was dominated by a handful of major corporations. But a resistance movement arose to free Chicago's media from their clutches. One player in this movement is the Chicago Independent Media Center and its TV show, Chicago Independent Television. The Independent Media Center is a worldwide network of grassroots correspondents committed to using the tools of the media for promoting social and economic justice. You are watching this month's dispatch from the Chicago Independent Media Center.
Welcome to Chicago Independent Television, a collection of progressive video reports by grassroots media workers produced free from corporate or commercial support or influence. I'm your host, Sanam Sister TV Amagashi. In this episode, we'll visit a protest against a Chicago alderman. We'll learn about the controversial Chicago program known as TIFs. We'll learn about efforts in Minnesota to oppose an oil pipeline, and we'll get an update from Illinois NORML. Stay with us.
Mr. Bishop, I want to use this picture on the front page of our next issue.
Oh, come now, Nancy. We can't print a picture like that. Paper is read by people all over the city. Just think what a picture like that would do to the reputation of our newspaper.
I don't think we should hide things just because they're unpleasant. How do we stop things like this if we don't let the people know they're happening?
Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. Here's a report from the Chicago neighborhood of Uptown about a protest against Alderman James Cappleman and his efforts to stop programs that help the homeless.
This is Jason Page reporting from Multiculti for Independent Media Television. What you're about to see is a protest that broke out after the Sun-Times ran a story that revealed that James Cappleman, the alderman of Uptown, 46th District, asked the Salvation Army to stop feeding the homeless in his district, after the alderman removed and made it illegal to feed the pigeons. Channel 2 News was on the scene, and their segment concluded that the protest was misguided and that the alderman denied requesting the Salvation Army to leave. However, the protesters on the ground paint a different understanding.
Not just for the rich and white! Not just for the rich and white!
This isn't anything new about James Cappleman. He actually, when we were trying to organize a program, which we organized, a program to give toys to children who live in the homeless shelter, he sent a letter to CAPS saying that he was opposed to that because it would encourage homelessness.
Yes, well, there's quite a history here. Alderman Cappleman has not only asked the Salvation Army truck to leave the neighborhood, although suddenly, as soon as a bunch of people protested, he said, oh no, I didn't say that, even though it took him a long time to deny it. But on top of that, he said, oh, but they should go elsewhere for food. Only the problem with that was that he couldn't name any places that they should go, and he didn't say anything about replacing the volume from the Salvation Army truck with a grant. And on top of that, he also closed 2 low-run hotels. Granted, they had some code violations, but it beats sleeping in desks. I mean, look what we're standing in. He's going after yet another building. Oh, he's a licensed clinical social worker, and he helped close down the mental health clinic, for which there was no transition plan for the same poor people that he closed the house down for, that cut off the food for.
Yeah, Food Not Bombs Riders Park's been going on since about 2007. We serve a meal every Sunday under the Morse L, and it's at 2 o'clock. We serve about 80 people every week, and we're out here today because Alderman Cappleman said that he wanted to stop the Salvation Army from serving food to the public, and we believe that sharing food is a right. And if someone's threatening people sharing food somewhere in the city, they're going to threaten people in other parts of the city. So we're here in solidarity to say that we're going to serve food, and we hope that others will too.
I'm not sure exactly.
I love their soup here. It's the best.
Well, I've lived here for 40 years, and I was a former employee at Salvation Army at the Tom Say Center. I was the case manager, and I can assure you that Salvation Army has done a stellar job of providing services for the homeless people in the community.
At one time in my life, I needed to be fed by shelters like this in LA when I was between jobs and food stamps had run out. Without that, I might have starved to death. And when I was making big money, I would donate to folks like this for those around me and pay it forward, Phil. So that's why I'm here. It's our duty to the hungry.
Not just for the rich and white. Not just for the rich and white.
You know, he's already closed 2 buildings. He's going after a 3rd. He almost chased off a food truck, although that's a little bit iffy. But you know, he's got the mayor's back, and the mayor has his, and they closed the health centers last year, the mental health centers. And oh my goodness, you know, if anybody cared about anything, it would be the mentally ill who can't take care of themselves, and nobody could possibly claim that they could, and they closed those down, so this will be easy.
Hi, I'm Vermin Supreme, and whenever I'm watching some sort of moving images on a screen, it's indie media for sure.
Chicago Independent Television is not brought to you by Coca-Cola, whose logo is stained red by the blood of murdered Colombian labor union organizers. Learn more at killercoke.org. Coke, the drink of the death squads.
Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. The Chicago Tax Increment Financing Program, or TIF program, diverts public tax money into secret accounts controlled by city government. Efforts in Chicago are underway to shine a light on the program, as we'll learn in this segment.
So what we have done is created something called the TIF Illumination Project. We want to go into the weeds and ask the question, what is happening in your community? 30% of the land mass of the city of Chicago is in the TIF district. And this is Cook County. It's everywhere. And the growth of these things has been quite strong over the years. This is where Mayor Daley comes into town. And you've got a straight 45-degree angle in the city of Chicago and in the county of Cook. And the value of these TIFs, that's how much money they've extracted, is enormous. Again, here you have, for the day we have the latest information, is a $454 million in property tax extraction from the city of Chicago TIFs in 1 year. But if you add them all up, the total TIF takings in 2011 is $729 million. So TIFs extracted a number equal to 53% of all the property taxes that run the city. People live in specific communities. Valerie was sharing her story from Lawndale. I live in Lincoln Park. We live in different parts of the city. And you may want to know, well, what does it have to do with me where I live? And that's what we're trying to answer with the TIF illumination project. You don't see this number on City Website, but at the end of 2011, if you add up all the money that was in the TIF bank accounts, you get $1.3 billion. It sort of gives a question to the frame of we're broke. And I still don't understand this, how we can be broke if all this money is sitting there. This is the true distribution of property taxes. With the TIFs taking this much money. And the Board of Ed getting this much money. Now, that's what it was supposed to be. You know, that's what they have in the civics text. With the Board of Ed getting all this. Instead, they get this.
What I've discovered through this years and years of obsession with this program is that it is truly one of the great scams I've ever perpetrated.
I'm Jerry Boyle of the National Lawyers Guild, and you're watching Chicago Independent Television.
Chicago Independent Television is not brought to you by AT&T, the company lobbying hard to destroy network neutrality and public access television. Learn more at SaveTheInternet.com. AT&T, your world degraded.
Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. Here's the first of two segments about efforts in northern Minnesota to oppose a controversial oil pipeline on the Red Lake Indian Reservation.
This is land that has never had an easement on it. So the pipeline company has no legal jurisdiction to this land. And that's why we're able to stay here and they're not able to come here and tell us that we're trespassing like they do in Texas and everywhere else where there's been blockades. This whole extraction process of oil affects everybody.
The chairman did write a letter to them back in January of 2012 telling them to remove the pipeline.
Prayers this morning to the people that will be going out to Leonard to stand for our land and against the pipeline industries. We, the people of Red Lake Nation, do not want this enemy Enbridge pipeline or any other pipeline going across our homeland. We are not here for the dollars. We are here to protect the homeland that was given to us by the Creator. I don't know more, for this is for our children and their future.
Flew over a couple times and has now landed on our land.
Over Cranbridge, I'm a patrol pilot. He sent me out here to just work up and down the line. I just wanted to introduce myself so you know who you're dealing with. I have to come by here a couple of times over the next few days. I'm a Canadian. I'm sorry I don't understand your circumstances. I'm from Western Canada. I've lived and grown up and worked and played with the First Nations, Native folks all my life. So I sympathize with your cause and I hope it works out for you. And this is just a personal offering to me. I'm sorry I don't smoke, I don't have any tobacco. But I figured some coffee might help keep you folks warm. And please take that. I hope it works out for you folks. I just wanted to personally, this is not an Enbridge initiative. I just want to come down here so you know who you're dealing with when you see me fly by. Couple times a day. Just want you to be safe, look after each other, and like I say, I hope it works out for you. Be great.
All right.
Okay, take care, folks.
Be quiet.
Sure, go ahead. Oh.
This apple tastes like an apple. However, it cannot birth another apple. I still feel human, knowing that my grandchild will not birth another child.
Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. Here's another segment about efforts in northern Minnesota to oppose the encroachment of environmentally destructive oil pipelines.
This is Becky.
Hi, this is Becky Haas with Enbridge.
Yes, it is.
Hi there. I spoke with you earlier, and you had stated that there is no federal regulation that specifically applies to fire above an operational pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
What if there's no easement on the land that the pipeline runs through?
There wouldn't be there wouldn't be a pipeline if there wasn't an easement. We can't build a pipeline if we don't have an easement beforehand.
But are you aware that there is that situation happening outside of Leonard, Minnesota?
Yes, I am aware, and the pipeline, we have had pipelines in that corridor on that parcel since 1949. When we were constructing and building each of the 4 pipelines that are in that corridor, we went through all the proper channels, easements, permits.
The Red Lake Band of Chippewa, they don't believe that there is an easement on that property.
Yep. We have been working with them to resolve the issue. When we became aware of their ownership, we're working with the band to address these ownership issues, and we continue to work with them, and we just want to achieve a good resolution with them for both the band and for Enbridge.
I wanted to clarify that there is regulations regarding permanent structures above pipelines with easements.
Correct.
What does Enbridge consider a permanent structure?
A house, a shed, a barn, a pool, a fence that is intended to be there permanently.
What does Enbridge consider a permanent structure?
A house, a shed, a barn, a pool, a fence, a fence, a fence, a fence, a fence.
This apple tastes like an apple. However, it cannot birth another apple. I still feel human, knowing that my grandchild will not birth another child.
Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. Here's an update from the Illinois chapter of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, also known as NORML.
Hey, it's Ollie from Illinois NORML, back with another Illinois NORML video nugget. I'm here to bring you the latest updates on what's going on in Illinois with cannabis policy and drug policy reform in general. We're in the middle of the Illinois General Assembly's main session this spring, and there's a lot of interesting bills going on. The main one that's getting the most attention is House Bill 1. That's the current medical cannabis bill in Illinois. It's very similar to the previous House Bill 30, but it has some improvements. Some changes have been made, and we're working to get this bill passed. The bill passed the Illinois House Human Services Committee by a vote of 11-4. And now the bill is pending, awaiting a vote before the full House. We also have a couple of other bills. Illinois House Bill 2332 would allow for decriminalization at the county or municipal level in cities and counties throughout Illinois. This would validate the existing decriminalization ordinances in places like Chicago, Springfield, and many others, as well as provide for a framework to allow other counties and cities to do the same. We also have House Bill 2668, which is an industrial hemp bill. This bill would allow Illinois farmers to grow industrial hemp instead of having to import all of the industrial hemp that is used in hemp products from overseas, from Canada and China. And so that Illinois Bill 2668 would allow for industrial hemp farming. We also have Senate Bill 1234, that's Senate Bill 1234, and that bill is still being worked on, but we're hoping to use it as a way to change our current per se laws for driving under the influence of drugs, DUID. Currently in Illinois, if you test positive for any cannabinoid metabolites in your bloodstream, regardless of your level of intoxication or the time that you ingested the cannabis, you are considered automatically driving under the influence of drugs and are subject to criminal penalties. And so we're working to try and change that through Senate Bill 1234. This spring also brings a membership drive for Illinois NORML. As Illinois NORML is a volunteer-run organization, we depend on donations and paid memberships in order to support our organization, all of our lobbying efforts in Springfield, and all of the work that we do. So if you make a donation of $35 or more, you can become a paid member for 1 year of Illinois NORML. You'll get a membership package including a t-shirt, buttons, stickers, and more. And if you go to our website at illinoisnormal.org/ilnormal/donate, you can make a donation directly to us and we will send you a membership. So this membership drive will be going on. We're hoping to get 100 new members by June in order to support our lobbying efforts in Springfield during this spring session when the General Assembly is in Springfield. And we really appreciate all of your help. We know that $35 is a lot of money for our members, but we're really hoping that you can help us out and make a difference in ending cannabis prohibition. We're also beginning our planning efforts for the Global Cannabis March in Chicago, which is held the first Saturday in May throughout the country and throughout the world. This event has been going on for many years, and Illinois NORML has participated in the Chicago edition of the Global Cannabis March. And we're looking for people to help organize, plan, and promote that event. So that will be held Saturday, May 4th. And anybody who's interested, send us an email or visit our website at illinoisnormal.org to learn more.
You've been watching Chicago Independent Television, a project of the Chicago Independent Media Center Video Collective. The Independent Media Center is a growing worldwide network of media producers, journalists, citizens, and activists, working to put the media in the hands of everyday people and away from corporate and commercial interests. To learn more, visit our website at chicago.indiemedia.org. There you can find out about upcoming Chicago area events and how to get involved in making your own media, including how to help make this very TV show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.